Layla's breath caught as she stepped into the chamber beneath the temple of Kukulkan. The air was thick with a pulse she couldn't hear but could somehow feel. All around her, walls shimmered with glyphs, some Egyptian, some unmistakably Mayan, but others pulsed with symbols no human language had ever recorded. They resonated, not in sound, but in memory. She moved forward, her fingers tracing the cold stone, trying to make sense of what shouldn't exist. A symbol on the far wall matched the one she'd seen in Sudan, and the Nubian scroll discovered near the ruins of Napata. The scroll had described a union between the Singers of Light and the serpent timekeepers. Everyone dismissed it as myth, but here it was again. Behind her, Hadam's voice echoed, low and cautious. "Do you feel that?" "I feel like this place remembers me," Layla replied, her voice barely a whisper. She stepped into the center of the chamber. The floor beneath her rippled, not physically, but in perception, like the space itself was folding. The codex she carried on her wrist, an ancient device uncovered in the Great Pyramid months ago, lit up with symbols she'd never seen. A low hum began. The walls vibrated in harmony. A column of light shot up from the center of the room, forming a spiral. The codex translated the pulse. A phrase appeared in the air. "We remember the accord." Layla gasped. The accord was supposed to be a myth, an ancient pact between forgotten civilizations. According to Mayan legend, the pyramids were not built as tombs, but as keys. Egyptian myths told of a race who could speak to the stars. Everyone thought these were separate tales, but what if they were two halves of the same story? As the spiral light coiled tighter, Layla reached out. The moment her hand touched it, the chamber vanished. She stood in a void, not empty, but infinite. Stars pulsed in rhythm. Planets hung like musical notes in a vast sheet of symphony. And before her stood two figures, shifting between human and not. One bore the mask of Ra, the other, the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl. They spoke in harmony. "You are the bridge." She didn't understand. "You are born of earth, but shaped by memory." The accord was not only a pact between civilizations, it was between timelines. Images surged into her mind. Pyramids not only in Egypt and Mexico, but Antarctica, the Amazon, and even beneath the oceans. The builders, what the voice called the first civilization, had seeded knowledge in many places, expecting some to awaken. But Earth had been special. Something in the duality of human nature, logic and chaos, art and science, had amplified the original signal beyond prediction. They showed her the fall of Atlantis, not a flood but a collapse of harmony, a rogue frequency. The being known as Set Circuit had twisted the accord, trying to control the resonance itself. The builders had sealed him away, fracturing the accord into pieces, hiding them in pyramids across the world. Until now. "You have reconnected the fragments," the voice said. "But now you must choose, restore the full accord or seal it forever." She was shown two paths. One, to activate the accord across all pyramids. It would awaken not just knowledge, but memory stored in the Earth's magnetic fields. Humanity would evolve, not just technologically, but consciously. The other, seal it again. Hide the knowledge, protect humanity from the dangers of misuse. Harmony would sleep again, perhaps for another 10,000 years. Layla stood in silence. Then she remembered the children who dreamed in symbols. The artists who painted visions they couldn't explain. The pyramids that sang at midnight when no one was near. Earth was ready. She chose harmony. A brilliant chord rang out. Pyramids across the globe lit up. In the Amazon, lost temples rose from beneath the roots. In Antarctica, a spiral of light cracked the ice. In the Sahara, the sand parted to reveal crystalline grids that had been dormant for ages. The codex on Layla's wrist evolved, its symbols rearranging into something new, a language based on emotion, rhythm, and pattern. The world began to change. Music became a language of healing. Cities resonated with joy, powering themselves with shared emotion. Children began to dream collectively, sharing the same visions. They called it the chorus. Hatem, returning to Sudan, followed coordinates hidden in the codex. There, beneath the desert, he uncovered a vault unlike any other. Inside was a single word glowing on every surface. Returning, Layla's heart froze when she heard it. Deep in the Arctic, a structure revealed holograms of a species older than the builders. beings of light and shadow, whose presence distorted time itself. They were not builders, they were feeders. They fed on harmony. The builders had once invited them, thinking them allies, but when they consumed too much, whole civilizations vanished. The accord had not been only about connection, it was also a defense, a delay, a prayer that Earth would be ready when the silent music came. And now they were near. Signs began across the world, music faltered, the pyramids no longer pulsed in unison. Some fell silent, others emitted low, ominous tones. Layla, before vanishing into the liquid gate, left a message. They are not like us, they remember too much. Children began drawing the same spiral again and again, a spiral inside a circle. No one could translate it. Until Naira, one of the corals, stepped forward. Her voice, pure and steady, sang a single lament. The codex responded, vaults opened. The accord was not just a song, it was a memory. And when sung with sorrow, even the silent ones paused. Not out of pity, but out of recognition. The earth had changed. And now, the silent ones would have to choose as well. A choice between consumption and coexistence.